So, we are now in episode 19 of our pirate campaign, and once again, 3 of our crew have been left unattended by their fellows. So, I'm certain we can expect some shenaniganry tonight.
Nothing bad will happen at all. Nothing bad ever happens when we're unattended.
So, to recap what happened last time they were left unattended. You had your little adventure on a haunted ship and then had continued to travel on your way towards the canyons of Gul, where you were hoping to come across a potential treasure fleet coming from Freeport. Along the way, you intercepted a pirate that was attacking a random trade vessel, which you succeeded in battling and boarding, and you now have a captured ship. The crew are bound in the below decks. There's a small skeleton crew of your own men on board to at least
skeleton
keep it running.
crew. Oh, okay.
Yeah, skeleton crew is more in this case is more like the bare minimum amount of people there.
Okay, so.
So not the undead.
Oh, I don't want it then.
Just checking.
I mean,
That would have been an amazing plot twist.
it would make it cheap. You don't have to feed them.
Oh, damn, that's a really good
I
idea.
think we found a solution to all of our problems in life.
I think we found a solution to all of our problems. Just turn everyone into a skeleton. See, we're great when we're left unattended. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this whatsoever.
Necromancy, the
It'll
solution
be
to all
fine.
problems.
They become skeletons if we just like shoot them enough, right?
Yeah.
It's the trick of making them still fly a ship.
Ah.
Don't come at me with this like rational thought.
Don't come at me, bruh.
So, Bingo spoke to the captain of the trade ship, impersonating your own captain, and sent them on the way with the message to spread word of the good ship Citrus, led by Captain Bingo.
Okay.
And with that, you've reboarded your ship. The crew have stripped the cannons from the pirate ship and have lashed them down on deck of the Citrus, although I'll be honest, the Cirrus, but still, it's now the Citrus.
We won. We just won the whole thing.
The crew have lashed them down. They're not in any position to be used because there is not enough space to set them up currently.
I'll upgrade them throughout the. I'll work on that throughout like journeys and such.
We'll just kick holes in the side of everyone's bedroom and the kitchen. We'll have a cannon everywhere. Cannons for everyone!
Because there's no downside to that.
You know what this breakfast table needs? A cannon!
That's one way to deliver food to the sleepy.
Wakey wakey! Duck! What? Ah!
The captain has decided to continue on the journey, taking this prize along with you. It slows you down a little bit, but the ship's not so damaged as to slow you completely. You travel for the next few days, occasionally slowing down to pull alongside the captured ship to swap over the crew to give people a break from guard duty. At some point or another, most of you have also done a stint on board the captured ship. It's hard work when there is a lot less of you to keep the ship going and keeping up with the Cirrus. And after a number of days, Bhajiri redirects his course slightly and brings the two ships onto a very low altitude. And then calls the crew to, or those on the deck at least, to attention and speaks to you all, saying that in the interests of getting to where you need to go, but without wanting to give up your prize, it would be a good idea to find a safe harbour to effectively park the ship until you can return for her. And it would be useful to also have the prisoners more securely locked up. So he's selected a very tiny town to make a short port call in, and he wants you all on your best behavior when you're there.
Of course. Of course, Captain, we are always on our best behavior.
I straighten the pistols in my belt and I go, of course.
Bhajiri looks at you directly and goes, "No more guests in my bed, thank you."
That was not me.
That was our evil twins.
What Mug said.
Bingo is just absentmindedly looking out of the window, not paying any attention. What?
I mean, have we done anything bad so far? I think we have been very good.
We got
I've been on. Yes, I've been on my good behavior. I've only killed. Oh, I can't count that much.
No, but all of those deserve to die, so they don't count.
Good. Okay, then I didn't kill anyone that counts. So it's fine.
Bhajiri just
But wait,
looks at
isn't
you,
it-
raises
isn't
an
it bad?
eyebrow,
Hmm.
and then basically turns to the rest of the crew and says, "Get back to work."
Maybe I should have killed someone that counted. I mean,
There will be plenty of time for that.
okay.
I'll point them out next time we get to someone that you can kill that counts.
You
Okay. Good to know.
As I say that, the little kid walks around on the ship. Bingo is pointing probably at the kid going, that one.
The kid is under the very watchful eye of a certain Tarin,
Yep.
who seems to be teaching the child the basics of how to work the ropes.
Stupid child! Arrgh!
I'm still teaching the kid how to shoot, but mostly I'm also keeping it to him throwing an apple and me shooting it and getting closer to his head every time, just to see that he doesn't flinch when danger is close.
After a few hours of just watching sand dunes and a very hot and boring background go by, you start to see taking shape a rocky ridgeline that Bhajiri is angling the ships to come up alongside. The
That looks good.
lookout calls out to Bhajiri and says, "It's in sight now, Captain." And the lot of you who choose to look out in front of the Cirrus will see the tiny township that is effectively carved into the rock itself.
Ooh.
Nice.
That did not
So are we
actually...
destroying this town, boss?
One question, Glenn.
Yep.
Normally, how much would the ship that we've captured sell for?
It is effectively the same class of ship as yours. Oh, actually, no, sorry, it was a sloop, so it's a bit smaller. Just double check I've got my notes on that. Otherwise, I will get back to you.
Yeah, just thinking through the options of leaving the ship behind versus like selling it and then murdering everyone in the town and taking it along anyway.
You're a genius.
that sounds like an alright plan.
Bingo's on
Something
board.
going wrong. It is.
You're fairly certain it might be, depending on the size of the town, a little outside their price margin.
Ah, shit.
Ah, boo, poor people.
We'll sell it at a discount for like the deed of their town.
Yes, let's buy the town.
But wait, but then it's pointless if you murder everyone.
No, because at least we'll have a town. Like the
We'll have a
buildings
whole
will be
town,
there.
and no one will know. Look,
Yeah.
I can count the number of buildings on just using 2 hands. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's pointless
Bingo.
if no one is paying taxes.
You know, you have a lot of fingers there.
I was using my toes as well.
But they won't need to pay taxes because they'll be dead, and then we can fill it with like pirates of our own, and like
Yeah, and we can leave the child there to rot.
we can build a wall of cannons, and then whenever the ship comes by, we'll just fire 500 cannons
And
at once.
and you see that little bit on the other side that's only got like one house on it? Yeah, we can put the kid there, away from
Yeah, and
everyone else.
No one will ever notice.
No! I like this plan. This is a great plan.
You notice some of the crew are giving you strange looks at this whispered conversation.
We wouldn't kill you! Don't worry, you're useful!
Look, I think instead of killing them, we should sell them as slaves. It's a lot more human.
But the issue,
Humane.
like
How do you pronounce it?
Well, I'm not human, so I don't really care.
the issue with selling
But you
them
get
as-
more money.
Oh, can we sell the kid as a slave?
Why not?
Yeah!
There's probably
Bingo.
someone looking for a young kid. To
You notice
pirate
Tarin giving you the biggest greasy.
Biggest what?
She's giving you a big greasy stare.
What? You know how I feel about that kid. I've been waiting to get rid of him for ages. I will not desist. Is that the right word? Desist. I will not desist.
No, it's you will not disintegrate.
I will not disintegrate. Thank you. I will not.
Right. So we are selling everyone as slave. We are going down there.
Well, at least we'll go down there, and then we'll see. Like,
It's not the look I'm getting. It's a chicken.
Bhajiri carefully guides the ship up to the edge of the cliff, and some of the crew leap off and begin nailing down ropes to lash the ship. The damaged one gets lashed up alongside yours, and then gangways are dropped.
I mean, with the new ship, we probably have enough space for many slaves.
The crew that have lashed the ship up and putting the gangways down sort of slow for a bit and look around in confusion. And then you hear a shout from the side of the vessel. Is it meant to be deserted, Captain?
So there are no
You're not
slaves.
telling me more prisoners have escaped. We are really bad at this. Wait, no. Where could they have gone? They couldn't go anywhere. We've been flying.
One of the sailors near you, Bingo, sort of taps you on the shoulder and points at the town.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And he glances at you and goes, "You're telling me the last town we pulled into at least had people walking around?"
So you mean to tell me we've got no slaves? Well, this is a terrible plan.
Yes, I think the plan has been not good.
It's almost like the universe is trying to tell us to be good or something.
Well,
there's actually still an opportunity to be bad. We'll just blow up the nearest tavern.
Can we
But
put
we
all
have
of our prisoners
already
inside it? Can we blow
But
them
we
up?
have already done that. Like, I don't want to do the same thing again.
That's true,
Oh.
that's true. It's very boring. We have to find something big and blow that up. And let's put all our prisoners inside and tie them together and put the dynamite in the middle with a big ticking clock.
the sailor next to you, Bingo, just starts edging quietly away.
It's okay! I'll go bouncing after him. You're useful, remember? We're not going to blow up you.
Thanks.
You can't tell under my mask. I am smiling. You can't tell.
Can I jump off of the ship? Is it like safe to do that?
Yep. So the ship is alongside, and the one you've captured is lashed up alongside your own.
Okay, so now the idea is that I'm gonna like jump in like still a sort of like piratey way and just like superhero land on the side of the town and just stroll on in to see who's there. Because, well, deserted is not what I was looking for.
So you land on the side of the ship after jumping up, and then leap over the side onto the sandy ground. Underneath the sand, you notice that there's paving stones. The brushing your hand a little bit, you can tell that with a little bit of TLC, this place would actually look like a fairly decent town. Looking into the town, you see that the buildings are multi-level. At least most of them are 2 to 3 stories tall, made out of stone, and some of them even appearing to have been carved out of the rock around it. Especially up towards the back end of town, there's squares and plazas, and up one end there appears to be almost like a small fort.
That's what will blow up.
Other
Wait,
thing you
is-
notice is that nearly every window is boarded up.
Black Plague! Black Plague!
This
Well,
could be a
wait.
place we can call home.
People could be inside. You don't know.
Oh, good idea. Can I stroll to like? Is there anything that looks like a tavern or something?
I'll get you to do a perception.
Okay. How did that work again? That was 3d6
Yep.
plus perception, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a 6 and 2 5s.
I was about to say, if you got a fucking legendary there.
No, it's not yet a legendary. This is 16 and 19.
Right. You think that for a moment that the best place to find out what's going on in town is the tavern, and the second you think tavern, you're like, I could really do with a drink. And you immediately start looking through every building to see any hint of where the nearest joint is, and out of the corner of your eye you see a building that looks like it should be the appropriate one, and then you see that they've used the tavern sign to in the process of boarding up one of the windows.
Let's go over and say them. Ah! Oi! Oi!
Can I kick open the door? Like, is there still a door?
There is a door.
Can I kick it open?
Go for it.
Okay,
Roll a
so that's
strength.
Okay. That's a 6, a 5, and a 3 makes a number. 14 plus strength is 2 makes 16 total.
Noted. You walk up to the door, and I presume that Bingo and Mug you've followed off the ship.
Yeah.
Potentially
I
via
don't
the
think
gangway.
Mug knows. Yeah. What else to do?
So Silas glances back at you, Bingo, gives you a grin, and then goes to dramatically kick the door open.
Ooh, not
Cool.
nice job.
You hear a massive thud, and then a crack, and then the door creaks open only slightly.
Woo!
Okay, I was terrified that the crack would be my leg or something. Okay, so the door's open slightly.
You, from where you can see, realize that the door itself had been barred, and you've just managed to kick the bar clean out. Although it's still only open the door about an inch.
I'm gonna pull out a pistol. And then I'm gonna try to open the door further.
The door opens the rest of the way, and you see that the room behind it was indeed a tavern at some point or another. It now looks awfully fortified.
Hello, war prepared tavern. Where's my booze?
You hear a response. We ain't had booze here in months. Who the hell are you?
Oh,
Do you want some?
So there are slaves here after all. We have found the slaves. We have found slaves, says Mug.
No slaves here.
Aw, I thought we found the slaves.
Who I am doesn't matter. Who's asking?
You're answering with a question.
You see a old man pop up from behind the bar, and he's carrying a blunderbuss.
Shit.
And he looks you dead in the eyes and goes, "Used to be that I ran this tavern. Now I spend most of my time shooting things that try to come in that door."
What are you shooting? What's coming in the door? Tell us things! Tell us!
Are you going to shoot us?
Well,
I'd recommend waiting a bit before shooting us because, well, if one single shot is fired, our men will come hunt you down.
Oh, and make you slaves, right? Is that what why we are here for? Making slaves.
well, if
That's what we discussed, right?
Well,
if
it's
that's what you're
one
here for, you can walk back at that door and get yourself the hell away from here.
Tell us why!
Or you can stay the night and find out.
This man's like ancient and still trying to threaten us. You hear that?
Yeah, okay, so are we making him a slave or what?
Well, the thing that Silas is gonna do is he's gonna step to the side. Like, we're now standing all close to each other. Silas is gonna actively step away from the others. Because in the time I pull one shot, he has to choose.
He watches you do that and scowls.
So do I beat him up and make him a slave, or is he a slave before we beat him up?
Let's wait a little bit with beating him up and like seeing if he's worth being a slave. Because well, it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of food, which we can also.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know, but I wanted to try.
Well, we can always try with like the worthwhile ones.
Okay, fine. So are we killing him then?
Not yet. Maybe he knows stuff that we need to know, such as where's the money, where's everybody, where's the booze, or more importantly, where is the booze?
Okay, so if he tells us stuff, we don't kill him. Is that true?
Yes, and
okay,
if he doesn't answer the question, you get to punch him in the knees.
Great, I'm up for that. Hey guy, we are asking you questions. Are you answering or not? That's the first question.
Well, after that wonderful conversation, why should I tell you anything? Anyone outside there's going to be...
Can I punch his knee?
He levels the blunderbuss at you, Mug, and goes, I'd like to see you try.
You know what?
Can I sneak round behind him?
Shit, I can't use disarm yet at this range.
And then he says, and the rest of whoever's out there is probably going to be dead by midnight.
And that's because of?
Well, if the lack of food out there isn't going to help, I'd say the manticores might.
Did you say manticore?
What's a manticore? It sounds dumb.
Yeah, I've never heard of manticores. Are you making this up? Are you lying to us? Because I will punch your knee if you're lying to us.
Glenn?
Oh, I think you're making it up. That sounds ridiculous.
Okay. Should I punch him?
Yeah.
Glenn.
Okay.
Yep.
Did my noble education teach me anything at all about manticores?
You've heard stories. It's hard to tell what's truth and what's lie, but they're always made out to be pretty terrifying monsters. And everything that you now see in this bar makes an awful lot of sense.
Are they the thing that I think they like, that they're normally in lore and mythology?
Yep.
Because then I can just make up like a story that suits it a little bit, as to what either Silas would actually know.
Yep. So let me just scoot down here.
I fear manticores might be real, and yeah, they are not friendly.
What, Silas? Why are you playing along with him? I just wanted to punch him. Why can't I punch?
Yes, that's exactly what I expected, Glenn. Thank you. God damn it. Well, I'm playing along because I know that these things exist, or at least my studies told me so.
Good. And if your studies tell you that they exist, then you'll probably realize that one old man at the bar is not exactly going to stop a manticore. And then he points to your left.
I'm going to look to my left.
There's a bunch of barricades and there's a bunch of people pointing guns in your general direction.
I'm going to put away my guns. I'm going to look at Mug and Bingo, and I'm going to go, so maybe we should stop fighting these people for now.
Are we all on the same side now? Is that what's happened?
Well, we can choose between dying or yes.
I choose yes.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't really know. This is a tough choice. Can you help? Which one should I choose?
Don't choose Tarin!
Why not?
Because it's boring and you can only do it once.
we'll save that for a special occasion, okay?
Yeah. Like tomorrow.
Yeah. Or for the biggest temple fight of your life.
But it sounded fancy, like like dyeing them in red. I've heard that one. That's fancy.
So I take it that you're deciding that trying to pick a fight in this town's a bad idea?
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Well
But
then,
that choice is totally not affected by the 10,
Oh wait,
15
can we
battles.
pick a fight with these Manticore people?
well,
Technically, yes.
if you want to go pick a fight with the Manticores, be my guest. It'd be nice if we could get towards our water supply.
Well, we can solve that.
But where are they? Because I sure am wanting to fight.
Well, if you saw that giant canyon that led through the middle of town and up through into the cliff face, if you follow that to the end, you'll find out where they've made their lair.
So what you're saying is if we blow up the canyon a bit further along, the Manticores can't get to town.
Yep, that's what I had too. Fetch the cannons!
A word of the wise. They fly.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll get them while they're in their cave on the ground. He says this like he's the most clever person in the world.
Go have a look, and you'll see why that won't work.
Fine. Let's go.
What would we get if we help you solve this Manticore issue?
Well, if you're here for food and lodging and, you know, the basic necessity of life, water, then you'd be in luck. But we're such on short supply right now with our main water supply surrounded by manticores that if you don't want to help, you can clear off.
We'll have a think while we take a stroll towards those Manticores, I guess.
Be my guest.
Glenn, question.
Yep.
If it's just as simple as follow the canyon,
Yep.
would it be possible to fly the ship there?
You're fairly certain you could get part of the way, but as the canyon starts to get narrower, it would be extremely dangerous.
Okay, that's not. I was
At
thinking maybe
the
we
very
could,
least, you wouldn't be able to get it back out.
that's not a good idea. However, okay, let's call that Plan B.
Okay, I'm confused here. So if Manticores can fly, does that mean they are not people?
They are not people. They are people eaters.
Are they birds? Like,
Yes, but like, do you know what happens if you cross an angry lion thing with a bird and a scorpion? Well,
when you mean cross, you mean you draw a cross on them?
something
Or
like that.
you cross blades with them? Huh.
It's a bit of a like it's part lion and part monster and part scorpion, and they're mostly deadly.
Oh wow, I've never heard of anything like that. Is that real?
I fear yes.
I want to fight it. Let's go fight it. I want to see how tough it is.
Well, they said manticores, so how
Oh,
tough they are.
so some of you can get some as well to fight. It's not just for me then. You
Well,
guys can fight too.
we'll still first see how you'll do against them, and then if you need help, we might be able to help.
I don't know. I want to be nice and let you have some as well. I mean, you don't need to be this polite. You know, you guys can fight too.
Okay, we'll fight one as well. And with that,
Okay.
I start
Yeah,
walking
you
towards
know,
the
I
canyon.
didn't want to hog them all for myself. Yeah, they're probably having this conversation walking.
Yeah. So we're like walking closer there. Do we see anything special as we head that way?
As you walk along towards the edge of the cliff, you see that the town is highly fortified. The windows have been barricaded up well. Some of them, now that you've got closer inspection, seem to have claw marks, as if something's tried to claw its way in here and there. There's a couple of the houses that appear to not have anything barricading on the window, and no signs of life on the inside.
Huh. That looks unfriendly.
By and large, it seems like this was a town that had a reasonable number of people. You'd guess anywhere between 100 and 200.
And we've now met all of them that are still alive.
You're not 100% certain.
I do feel like this might be an issue for us.
Why? I don't get it.
Well, if those things, took out 100 people before.
But that means they're weak, you know? No, I mean, that means these monster things, they're strong, so they will be good fighters.
I don't think these fight fair.
We don't fight fair either, do we?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm a perfect gentleman when I shoot people with a cannon.
I'm not.
Well,
And with that,
me neither. I mean, in the arena, you don't need to fight fair.
well, there's the rules that you have to obey in the arena, aren't there?
Not in the free-for-all. Or battle royale. Strongest survives.
Fair enough. You know what? We should probably go and kill us a manticore.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's make us a manticorpse.
Cool.
And then wear its skin like a rug.
Yeah.
Bingo. You don't
Yeah.
wear the rug. You put the rug in your bedroom.
Yeah. And then you wear it, right?
Something like that.
Is that not what a rug is? I'm confused.
What is a rug? Is it like rags that you wear?
It's like a big cloak.
Oh. Okay. So you wear... So a rug is a fancy rag.
Yeah, and it makes you look all rugged and handsome. That's why it's called a rug.
Okay, yeah, because I wear rags because I don't... Yeah, I can't wear fancy clothes. But I wear armor as well. Because I'm allowed armor.
It's because you don't care what people think of you, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
So, after a couple of minutes of walking, you get to the cliff edge above the large gash that makes its way up the cliff. Looking down, you see that there is a trail that runs up along the side and then down into it. It appears that there was direct access from here where you're standing to then walk all the way up to the general direction of where this man in the tavern indicated that the threat was. Like the surface that you've been walking on, it's cobbles that have been hidden under sand that's effectively just been left to build up. You presume that under normal circumstances there would be people that would at least make the attempt to keep the streets relatively swept away of sand. But that task seems to have fallen completely into disuse while there has been issues. You see that the sandy road makes its way up and into a narrow section of the canyon, and you can just squinting kind of make out what appears to be either buildings or ruins up the other end.
So people used to live here, but they don't now.
Well, they might just be inside, like that guy in the other building.
Something like that.
They might be just hiding because they are weak and afraid.
Hello? Anyone here?
Hello, 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 hello.
I mean, they're going to just be scared of you, so like,
I'm gonna tap on I'm gonna walk next to like buildings and just tap on the buildings, see if there's any reply.
The nearest boarded building to where you are at the moment is silent for a bit, and then you eventually hear a, "Who the hell are you, and what the fuck are you doing out there right now?"
Well,
Oh,
there are several things.
we are here to make a new rug. A ruggedly handsome rug. That's what we're here for.
You're going
Not
after
slaves anymore.
You're going after those monsters.
Not just that.
You must
we're
be
gonna kill every
brave.
single one of them.
Well, you must be brave or a lunatic.
I think we are brave.
Well, if
Both. I am certainly both.
in that case,
Well,
go up towards the old town. You'll find them there.
I'll need I'll need something to prepare a plan.
I think we need directions to where the
We're not
old
very
town is.
good at plans.
Could you collect all of the gunpowder in this town?
Oh, yes. If they can fly, then we can shoot them, right? That makes sense. I can shoot things, I think.
I'm gonna hand Mug one of the pistols that I grabbed from the ship because, well, I always keep grabbing stuff from the ship.
The voice from inside the barricaded house says, "You're not in very much luck if you're after gunpowder, so I hope you brought your own."
We did, don't you worry.
We did, but like, there's always a need for more, especially with the
Guys,
big
I have
room
I have a splendid idea. Let's put all the gunpowder on the ship that we just stole and put all the prisoners we hate on it and then send it in and blow it up, and we'll blow up the manticore at the same time.
Bingo.
Yes.
As
Oh,
you're
wow,
explaining
that's such
that
a
plan, you have a mental recollection of a grenade falling into the gunpowder.
Wait, the grenade fell in, didn't did it fell into the gunpowder? I thought it fell onto the balloon of a different ship.
No. Oh, there's a reasonable
Oh,
size hole in the
Oh,
side of
wait.
the ship.
Did I accidentally destroy most of the gunpowder by accident, on purpose, accidentally?
No, you
I just made a big hole.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, it was a useless ship anyway. We don't need it. It's got a hole in it. Let's blow it up.
Sounds good.
We can call that Plan B.
Sounds
Ooh,
like a solid plan.
ooh, this pistol is shiny, says Mug, looking at the pistol.
I'd prefer it if you hold it the other way around. Do not point the open end at your face.
I know how to handle this. Glenn, does it misfire as he says that?
Roll a d6.
Can someone roll for me?
Yeah, of course. That's a 6.
No, it does not.
So Mug knows what he's doing.
Somehow Silas doubts that. The thing is loaded, by the way, but here's 5 more bullets, at least. And Silas is just going to handle 5 bullets and 5 doses of gunpowder.
The door to the house that you knocked on opens, and a man comes out with a two-handed axe, and he points up the other end of the canyon where you see the low buildings or ruins, and says, "Up there's the old town. Can you either head up there and do whatever the hell you came here to do, or at least walk away from my door? I don't want you attracting manticores, if that's all right with you." And then with that, he walks back into the building, slams the
Oh
door,
wow,
and you
that's
hear stuff
rude.
slamming back in place.
With that, Silas is just going to shout out, "Oh, manticores, this one!"
Feel free to attract them while you're standing out there, friend.
Oh, yes, whenever it comes close, I'll just either murder it or tame it. Whichever feels like the best idea at the time.
Good luck with that.
I don't need luck. I've got guns.
Yeah, so
with
did the
that-
militia.
Good point. But like, I actually shoot better than pretty much everyone. Although Mug is a pretty good shot as well.
Yeah, I can totally handle this gun, says Mug while looking at the gun and trying to load it.
It's already loaded, the first shot.
Yeah, but oh yeah, you don't need to load until you shoot.
Yeah, you shoot, then the pistol is empty and you reload it.
Okay, now I remember.
And with that, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna look at Bingo. I'm gonna look at Mug, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, we 3 can take those manticores, I guess.
Yeah. That seems fair. I'm sure I can shoot these.
In that case, let's go. So with that, Silas is instantly gonna take a big step and just start marching that way.
You make your way.
Put his pistols back, by the way, and he's gonna pull out the arquebus and scout the terrain ahead of him with the scope.
Okay. You make your way to the road that makes its way along the side of the cliff and then leading up to the large craggy canyon. Using the scope, you keep a eye out and scanning the ridge line and any parts of the rock that look like they could potentially be used as a lair or anything like that. You don't really see anything
Yeah.
The road itself is covered in about 3 inches of sand, so at a best guess, it seems like the town has had this issue for a couple of weeks. You slowly work your way up the canyon. Occasionally you hear noises that draw your attention, but anytime you look, you don't see any movement. It's a little hard to tell if it's just shifting sand or if there's anything else out there.
Huh. This looks deserted. I think we've won.
Yeah, it looks like there are no rugs for us. That's a shame.
You're fairly certain that it would take you probably about a 20-minute walk to get up to the old part of town.
Is there any wagon or something that we can use here?
Not that you see left out in the open at the moment.
Yeah, that would be used in barricading or something.
You're pretty certain that if there was anything useful like that lying around when they were desperate for barricades, they would have 100% ripped it apart.
Well then, guys, I guess we better start marching.
Oh, that's good. Let's kill some manticores.
If you're heading on up, I'll get you all to do perception checks.
Oh, Timo, can you roll for me as well?
Yeah, of course. My perception is 16.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Zsofie rolled a legendary roll.
What? Yeah. So her perception is sorry, his perception is 1. So it's plus
good.
1 too. That's 19, I guess, total.
Noted. And sorry, Timo, what did you get?
On a perception legendary. Okay. Well.
I rolled a 16.
Right. So
You need to make your dice behave, Timo, and use this for the fight.
Yep. Now that's the point where we start rolling like 3s and such.
Bingo,
I'm just jinxing it now.
You march out and look around and don't really see anything except sand and canyon walls. And as you get closer, you see what looks like old abandoned buildings based on the style. They're probably quite a lot more ancient than the ones that were in town. Timo, you start to notice after a while that there's signs of weapons and kicking some of the shapes. You realize that you've been walking over the top of what looks like a fight, but there's no bodies, there's just the weapons left in the road. Bingo's been light enough to just walk over the top.
This looks like a battle zone, but where the fuck are the bodies?
Oh, maybe the monsters ate them.
Mug, as Silas says that, you step forward on what you think is a rock, and hear it crunch. And it's a noise you've heard before, but not from a rock.
From a person?
Looking down at your boot, you've crushed a skull.
Oh. Nice.
There doesn't appear to be anything else, no other bones nearby.
Yeah, because.
Is it like a fresh skull, or like
There-
with blood
there
and
is
such on it, or is it?
There is no
clean?
flesh on it, it's cleaned.
Sorry.
Oops.
My bad.
Bingo has just been monologuing in his own head.
Apparently so.
Aww. This are there any usable guns as I look around?
Looking around, you see weapons that, given a bit of TLC, could be made usable again. At the moment, though, they're largely filled with sand.
Okay.
And you're fairly certain that if you tried to fire something down the barrel, it would explode because the bullet would jam.
I'd like to make a mental note of like this location, especially how to get here from the town, so that the crew eventually can gather those weapons for me, and I can clean them as free weapons for the crew.
Yep. You make
But
a mental note of that.
But for now, I reckon that, well, that crunch of skull reminds him of blood, and he's gonna go, "Ugh." Let's just kill a Cementicore, I guess.
You make your way further up the road, and it starts to then go from a slope downwards into a now upwards march towards the old town. The canyon walls get narrower and narrower until the sky above you is practically a slit and you're walking in the shade.
At least we're out of that hot sun now.
Up ahead, the old town, which is coming into much better view, is lit by sun. It appears to be in a wider section of the canyon itself. And you get a better look. It's a relatively, from what you can see right now, wide circular space with what appears to be the remains of buildings, both 1 and 2 story. Some of them appear to have collapsed a bit. And a wide open plaza in the center. The plaza itself appears to have in the very center of it a fountain.
Ooh, water source. Ooh.
At the moment, you don't hear any noises apart from the whistling of wind. But at the same time,
That was aggressive wind.
you expect that you would have heard something this close to what appears to be a water source. Because in the desert, at least, where there's water, there it should be life of some sort. At a bare minimum, birds. would have made their home and nests nearby.
Do we have like rations?
On you, I'd say you've got some basic jerky and water pouches and so on. Something that you would have had on you while you were working so that you didn't have to go below decks to just have a snack, but you wouldn't have travelled off the vessel with full ration packs.
Okay, so no like lumps of meat, for example, except for jerky, of course. But like,
You know
I
what?
mean, the
I'll get you to
big
roll a
one.
dice. See if Mug picks something up.
2.
No, Mug wasn't particularly hungry when he walked through the mess, so he's not nicked anything really interesting.
Okay. Is there like a pebble on the ground?
Kicking through the sand a little bit, you eventually find a broken bit of loose cobble.
That's enough. I'm gonna toss that like against the fountain. If that like, I'm gonna try and hit the fountain.
Yep. I'll get you to roll a dex on that.
That's +3, so 13.
Noted. You go to try and ricochet the pebble off the side of the fountain and aim just a little bit too high, and instead you skip it over the top. You hear the sound of it hitting the water, skipping along the surface, and then plopping in. The noise of it doing that echoes throughout the canyon. After just a moment's silence, you then hear a roar. And the roar seems to be coming from above and getting closer.
I look up.
A large manticore is dropping into the canyon from on top of the cliff, and it swoops down over the ruins of the building and then over the top of the fountain. I'll just drop this in so you got an idea of where you are.
Uh-oh. Well, this is totally unexpected.
Hi, Beastie.
Hello, Beastie.
It
Ooh.
lands on the sands in front of the fountain, looking down towards the lot of you, and then roars again. And with that, I'll get you to roll initiative.
Do I get stunt points?
On initiative, unfortunately not.
No, because that's 5 plus dexterity means 18.
Noted.
And should I roll for you as well? Sophie?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I think I was falling asleep. Sorry.
No worries. Shall I roll initiative for you as well?
Yes. Oh, it's a fight. I'll wake up.
5 plus 5 plus 3
Ooh.
makes
Uh,
so far, plus dexterity
yes. So, that's 2 plus 2.
is 13 is 15.
That's pretty nice. You're rolling very well so far. Keep
Yeah,
it up for the fight.
my dice decided that like because well today we finally start D&D again, they should impress me or something.
Hmm. That's very
Right.
nice.
And we just need one for bingo.
Oh wait, you rolled 15, so it should be 17, right?
12
No, I
for
rolled
bingo.
5, 5, and 3 for you. I already added the
Ah,
2 in the
okay.
15.
Noted.
Okay.
Rightio. So,
Sorry, I'm sleepy.
all
No
good.
worries at all.
So, one for Edric, you're up first.
Okay. uh, Do I see any weak spots on it? Like that I know of from the studies, or at least that I've heard rumors about being weak spots.
I will get you to roll a law check.
What?
So that will be.
What
Oh,
was
sorry.
the
That will
roll?
be a intelligence law.
It's not going to be military lore, is it?
Nope.
Okay, in that case, that's 7, 8, 9, 12.
Right, yeah. You run through the stories in your head, and don't really come up with anything extraordinarily useful. Most of the stories don't seem to come up with the exact same way to kill a manticore, and more often than not, they normally just mention how a manticore kills its targets, not the other way around.
That's not lucky.
Okay, we'll just do to it what it would do to us. I'm gonna try and shoot him in the biggest target. It's probably the head right now because it's looking at us.
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot him in the head with the rifle that I had out. So
Yep.
that would be the arquebus.
Yep. So that would be accuracy to hit, and then perception for damage.
You get stunt points for this, don't you?
Yes, you do. Also, if you didn't move, you can take an aimed shot.
Oh, I did not move.
Yeah. So don't forget you get a minor action, which is either your movement or another action.
Oh yeah, true. What does the aim do again? Just quickly checking.
So that's a minor action going all the way up here. Aim specifically off the top of
Oh,
my
a plus
head.
1 to the attack roll.
Yes.
Okay, and I get 4 stunt points from this.
Okay, yep, you can use those.
It's a 19 to try and hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Well, with those 4 stunt points, I'm gonna rapid reload.
Yep.
Pierce armor.
Yep.
And mighty blow.
Go for it.
Okay, so that's 3d6 plus. That's 12 plus 6 is 18 damage.
And use pierce armor, which halves its armor. So 18 damage, right?
Yeah.
Rightio. Minus that. Rightio. Noted.
I'm not shooting with the intention to be nice.
So So you fire and you see your bullet actually hit your mark. It pierces the hide, but you don't see as big a wound as you half expected. But you do see a little bit of blood.
Ugh. I mean, it's good that it's its blood and not mine yet, I guess, but
And with that, Mug is up.
poop its snoot.
Do we have a Mug?
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
All good. It's your turn.
Oof. So we are attacking?
Yep. The Edric's shot it, and it is now your turn. It hasn't done anything yet except roar at you.
Okay, I think Mog wants to try out the pistol. Okay, so it's like, oh,
Yep.
it's shiny. I should be able to do something with it.
Awesome. So that will be 3d6 plus your accuracy to hit.
Can Timo roll for it?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Sorry.
So just
So-
3d6 then?
Yeah, so in accuracy added to it, so that's 3 accuracy.
Okay, I rolled a 13, so plus 3 makes 16 total.
Yeah,
Right,
And no
16.
stun points, unfortunately. 6, 5, and 2.
Oh,
So
roll. It's a good roll.
16 a hit is definitely a hit.
Oh,
So that will be your pistol damage.
I don't know what that is yet.
Pistol is
Oh.
1d6 plus 3, and then plus your perception score as well.
Oh, my perception. Okay.
For your d6, you rolled a 6.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So that's 6 plus perception is 1.
So that's 6 plus 3 plus 1 makes 10 total.
Noted.
And they count as magical.
Right, actually.
So that's magical damage.
Good to remind me of that,
Yes.
because that's important.
It would be funny if Mog is the only one who's actually slaying them.
That's probably going to be true as well, because
Yeah.
the militia had lots of weapons.
So,
Didn't stand a chance.
Timo, roll another d6 for me.
That's a 2.
Noted. So that was how much damage originally?
10.
10. Right. So. You watch as Mug fires the pistol.
Don't die.
Sorry.
Someone send a medic.
It's okay.
So.
It's okay, I'm just slowly dying. That's fine. Is that a lung?
Mug was not expecting the black powder blast and is now coughing.
Yeah.
However,
Oh, this is how it works. Oh.
Edric, you watch the shot and you notice that it's glowing a strange colour as it comes flying out of the barrel. And
What
it
shoots that?
slams into the manticore, which actually takes a slight step back and roars in pain at the shot.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, this pistol. Really good. We are totally having that rug.
The manticore turns from looking at Timo and is now glaring daggers at Mug. Flaps its wings and
Ow.
thunders forward and tries to rush Mug. So
Ooh.
with that,
Can I use my quick reflexes for a ready action?
yes, you can. So it's going to charge you and then attempt an attack.
So what can I do with a ready action?
Well, you can reload or you can swap your weapon.
Reload.
Go for it.
Mug is liking this gun, even if it made him cough.
Right, so I'm going to take a wild guess that a 20 is a hit.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It only dealt 150 points of damage.
And that's 9, and a 16?
16 points of damage?
No, is
Yeah.
that 16 to hit?
Oh, it affects twice. Yeah, 16 is also a hit.
Noted. It is going to let me roll that one. Oh, do bugger all with that one. So it bites you for 9.
Okay. So
And
armor is 4, so there's -4 on that, right?
yep.
Yeah, that means
Yeah.
5 damages.
Yeah.
And then it brings a claw up and tries to slash at you and goes for. I just realised that was the exact same amount, 9. Yep.
So 10 total.
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad I'm wearing armor.
And that's its turn. Bingo. You're up.
How far away is it from me, roughly?
At this stage, I'd say at most 10 feet. It has just combination of like half flown, half run directly
Okay.
at my Mug.
Okay. Can I throw a fire grenade
You
Go
just
for
don't throw it at me.
at it? I'll try.
It just used a bite attack, so that's the range that it's away from Mug.
Maybe I can get it in the mouth. That'd be good. Okay.
Mental note, if that works, it now gets flaming attacks.
Oh no.
Oh wow. At least you
Okay.
tried.
Added fire damage to a bite. That's nice though, self-toasting teeth.
Okay. I rolled to hit. No. I got 16.
And that is a hit.
Is it? Oh, thank God. Okay, so 3d6s. 10.
10.
10.
You
10 fiery damage.
You throw your grenade and it explodes in flame across the thick fur and hide of this creature. It fills
It will
the
be a
air.
scorched rug.
It fills the air with like the smell of burning fur and stuff, but the manticore doesn't react awfully.
Oh, it doesn't react like burning animal would.
Damn it!
But does it react to being hurt?
It looks like it hurt it a bit, but nowhere near as much as it being shot.
Oh, by Mug's gun.
By either.
Okay.
With that, Edric, you're up again.
Okay, first off, Edric's gonna be done with this, so he's gonna be angry now. So he'll put on the steampunk Spartan helmet,
Yep.
and as soon as he dons that, it's like he's gonna be like quite angry, and he's gonna shoot.
Go for it.
But now that the animal is closer, can I make an aimed shot, cold shot as well?
I believe.
So like for more damage, but a penalty to hit or something. Is that even a thing?
Just trying to double check. Do. Not specifically, no.
Okay.
Because it
In
would
that-
normally fall under a stunt, if anything.
Okay, in that case,
But
I'll
what you
just-
can do is aim, and if you then stunt, do the extra damage that you'd normally get from a cold shot, kind of thing.
Ooh, that's gonna work. I'm gonna just take aim then.
Also, don't forget you're a rogue.
Okay, that means you're pointing me at my pinpoint attack, I guess.
Yep.
Aim at the head. Or the
Speaking
balls.
of cold shots,
I'd like to use my pinpoint attack. Is my dexterity of 3 greater than its dexterity?
yes.
Nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna aim.
Yep.
But I'm gonna aim for like. Wait, is it a typical manticore with a scorpion tail?
Yep.
I'd like to shoot the scorpion tail.
Oh, go for it.
Like, that will be.
That's either triple ones or triple six.
That's 566.
Oh.
All right, so double six.
So that means 12, 17
That is a hit, by the way.
plus 4 plus 2 because it's still the scope thing. 23 plus 1 for aim. Yeah, 24.
Yeah, you definitely hit it pretty much twice
In a
over.
pinpoint way.
Okay, so that's that.
You pick out a particular spot that you see on its tail and nail it dead on.
What I'm gonna do? Can I stack mighty blows?
No, you can only get the one.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because it's like the same as a lethal blow if you can stack it twice, but one cheaper.
Yeah.
In that case, with those 6 stunt points, I'd like to take 1 pierce armor.
Yep.
1 rapid reload.
Yep.
No, wait. 1 pierce armor, 2 rapid reload, and a lightning attack, which means that I'll go shoot, then reload, then shoot again. And
Yep.
the first shot will have pierce armor as well.
Go for it.
Okay, so that's... $16, 22 damage on the first shot in total.
And that one had the pierce armor.
Yeah, that one had the pierce armor. And then I roll a secondary attack as well. And that one is 3, 3, 3. So that's 9 plus 6 is 15.
Calculating because I did that horribly. 120. That. Nope. Yeah, that's better. You deliver 2 close range blows to it that send it staggering.
Oof.
And it's still up, but it roars in a hell of a lot of pain. Mug, you're up.
Should I not roll damage for the second attack?
Oh, is that just the first attack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you did What was it?
It was 16 plus 6 because 16 was what I rolled, 655, and then
Oh,
plus
was
3 plus
that
3.
was that to hit
Uh,
the second
first
attack?
the first high score of 24 was to hit.
Yep.
Then 22 was the first damage.
Yep.
Then the second to hit was 15.
Yep,
And
that was a hit.
Okay. So that's 2 ones for damage.
Oh.
But I get plus 6 because it's my scoped rifle. So that means that the total damage is 8.
Right. Okay.
And that one is not pierce armored.
Yep. No, that's right. That's slightly different than before. So your first shot sends it staggering and it roars in pain. Your second shot almost doesn't seem to affect it.
My second shot bounces off.
As it moves from your first shot, it seems like the second one largely just hits hide and fur and doesn't actually really penetrate. And Mug is up. With a very, very pissed off manticore in front of him.
Oh, yes. And then I'm awake. And Mug is shooting at it.
Right, close range shot with a pistol.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think with the ready I managed to reload, right?
Yes. So, Timo, if you're rolling for Mug, that will be an aim shot.
Yes, please. So do I still add accuracy to it?
Yep, accuracy to hit.
Okay.
4, 4, 4. So that's 12 with 4 stunt points.
And
yeah, and plus 3. So that's 15 total.
15. Noted. Let me just.
Is there any modifier for the aimed shot?
Yeah, it was plus
aim
1.
is plus 1.
Yep. And that is a hit.
So that's a 16. Yeah.
A hit with 4 stunt points.
Ooh. So what can I do with the stun points? I guess I can do rapid reload, right?
Rapid reload is 1 point stun, so you could do that.
Yeah.
You'd have 3 left, which would be enough for a lightning attack, which means you get a second attack. Or you can use a setup, which would open up for an ally that you pick to get a +2 on an ability score of ability test of their score.
Yeah, you've also got Pierce Armor and Mighty Blow. Or
Yeah.
there's the number of moves you could do.
Combine stuff like Pierce Armor and Mighty Blow, but I'm not sure about how much those cost because.
How much does Mighty Blow?
Mighty Blow is 2 points and Pierce Armor is 2 points.
No, Pierce Armor is 2.
You're a rogue.
Oh yes, Pierce Armor is 1 for me because I'm a rogue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Okay.
can't remember if warriors get discount on any points.
Shall I quickly check?
If you're free to, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I could use Pierce Armor, and can I use 2 rapid shots or just 1? Just 1 rapid reload.
1 rapid reload, yep.
Okay.
So that will be 1 pistol damage with your perception was +2, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No, +1. +1. Perception
1.
is on 1.
Timo, did you want to roll the pistol damage?
Oh, yeah. Pistol damage is 5 plus...
Plus 1, yep.
5 plus 3 plus 1, because pistol is 1d6 plus 3 plus
Yep.
perception.
So 5 plus
Yeah.
3 plus 1, 8,
9.
9.
9.
Noted.
9 points of magical damage.
All right, it is that. Can I get the
Yeah.
extra
Also
d6?
Pierce Armor.
Yep, I'm factoring that in.
And an extra d6?
Yep.
That's another 4.
4, so that's that.
So that's 7, right? No, 8.
No. Well, wait. If it's 5, then plus 3, that's 8, 9. Yeah. If it if it's 4, then plus 3 is 7. Plus 1 is that's 8. For the second shot, right?
Oh, it's not necessarily a second shot. It's the magical effect,
Yep.
if I understand correctly.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
It's
Okay.
you get more damage because it's magical.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was
If I remember, if I understand correctly.
Okay. So the rapid reload, does it do anything else?
just
It means
reloads the
that-
gun.
Yeah.
But I could do that with the ready action as well.
Yes, but the reload is a major action for you because it's with a special talent. It's a minor action.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
Okay. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Because I didn't realize that.
Rightio.
It would normally take you a full major actions. Choose between shooting or
okay.
reloading.
Okay.
So, Mug, you pretty much just shove the pistol into the manticore and fire at point blank range, and it roars again in pain and then immediately tries to retaliate. And I put my dice down. There we go. So that's a 17 on a bite.
Yeah, that gets me.
Ooh. And that is another 17 on its second attack.
So, okay, can I use the ready action to boost my defense? No.
You've used your minor action as an aim.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So
So that's it's basically you choose what kind of side effect you do,
Ah.
which could be guard up, which would give you a boost to defense, but only until the end of the round. Or you could take
Yeah.
take aim or move, for example. So walking also takes your minor action.
Oh, okay.
it got that too, so I'll just double check it wants to do that, or it's going to do that. So it is going to do 2 separate attacks, and it's done 9 damage on both.
Okay, so that's total of 10 again.
Yep. So it's bite and clawed you. However,
yeah, this is a good fight. Much bleeding.
As it's clawing, its tail swings forward and stabs into you.
Oh no! But didn't Timo shoot off its tail?
I only damaged it. I didn't shoot it off yet.
You feel
that's rookie mistake.
You feel a stinging pain, but for the moment, it's not done anything that you can feel.
Yeah, damn
it. That you can feel.
Yeah, I don't think Mug would understand.
And that brings up Bingo.
Yeah. I would like to grenade it.
Go for it.
For a change. Okay. This time, I'm going to use my lightning one, I think.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm rolling. Hang on. I'm rolling. Okay. 15.
To hit? That's a hit?
Yes. Whoop. Okay. And then I've got 2 lightning. 7. Woo! A big fat 7.
Noted. Now, from memory, does that have a side effect on a hit? Excellent. So double check that. So good choice in grenade because that's penetrating. So that was how much damage again?
7.
7 damage. All right. Whereas it didn't seem to react too much to the fire grenade, it reacts a lot worse to this.
Yes! Take that, you piece of shit! You will be my rug!
Timo, it's back to you, and this manticore is looking really roughed up.
Wait, so it's back to me and this manticore?
Is looking pretty rough at this stage.
Looking rough in a sense of being too hard to take down.
It's not keeping itself up very well.
Oh, it's looking like it will be finished soon. Yeah, so Mug has been good at shooting it.
I'd like to do that thing that I'm like good at.
Passing out at the sight of blood?
You mean shoot?
But both of those.
Roll your attack.
Okay. This time, because I'm now slightly behind it, I'd like to shoot it in the back of the neck.
Go for it.
Mm.
Okay. That's a 3-3-2, so that's like 8 plus 6 is 14 plus 1 is 15.
That's a hit.
Okay, it did take my aimed action, by the way.
Yep.
Because I sort of assumed that as I called out where I wanted to shoot, that was aim as well.
Yep, you also didn't really move, so.
And then 3 stunt points, which I'm going to use.
Pierce armor.
I'm going to pierce armor and rapid reload, but I also don't like that it's been attacking Mug all that time, so I'm also going to taunt it.
Go for it.
For the taunt, I'm going to need you to roll a willpower self-discipline for him.
Noted.
Him, her, it.
They them.
That also works. I'm rolling a communication as well. That's communication deception, so that's not going to be etiquette, I guess.
No.
We don't need etiquette to taunt someone. It helps to make it fancier.
Yeah. I rolled a 14. Did it roll higher or lower?
Hilariously, it rolled the same.
How would that work? Because normally a taunt would be distracting the opponent, but more in the way of any attack rolls and casting rolls that it makes are a -1 penalty.
What I'll do is I'll describe what happens when you finish rolling your attack.
Okay. In that case, I'm now rolling the damage for the attack, which is a 4 and a 3, so that's 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 3 is 13. Yeah, 13 damage, but with pierce armor.
Noted. So, you ready your shot, take aim, and then begin shouting at it to try and get its attention away from Mug as you pull the trigger. Your shot hits, and you see the creature spin towards you. And you ready yourself as if it's going to leap into attack, only to watch it then fall over and collapse.
Can I spit it in the face?
You can do so, if you'd like to taunt its corpse.
I'd like to.
Rug.
as Ringo starts chanting that, I'm gonna go. I think it's best if I should probably go have a look around while you skin the beastie.
And can I get you to roll a Constitution check for Mug?
For me?
Yep.
That's
Just roll a Constitution for Mug.
5, 4, 1. So that's a 10.
10
and
plus
I have a +3.
13.
That's a 13.
Noted.
Is this a stamina check?
Yes.
Okay, so I do have a 5 stamina.
So
So that would be 14 plus 2 from stamina then, right? So
noted.
16.
Yeah, so 16.
The stinging where the manticore hits you with its tail burns and makes you feel weird and queasy, but you just manage to shake it off.
Mug is tough. He's like, yeah, best boy.
And
What?
I'll say now is a good point for us to wind up for now until we get to the next session.
Yeah, okay.
We have a rug, we have a rug, we have a rug!
We almost have a rug.
And I shall parade it back to the ship. Dun 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 dun! I got your rug!
Dun,
I mean,
dun,
Mug
dun,
just
dun,
needs to
dun,
shoot
dun,
it
dun,
one
dun.
more time.
So I'll get a yo-ho for the recording.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo!